Hey, everybody. Thank you all for coming. It's good to see everyone. Are you all ready for this evening's Herbal Study Hall? Feel like it's been a while. And I'm happy to see everybody. So let me just take a minute to say all of my hellos. Hello, Robin, Marianne, Troy Sutton, Penny Ortiz, Ann Philbeck, Ark Wildman. Good to see you guys. All right, so here's what I've got planned for tonight. I have attended some podcasts and conferences in the last couple of weeks, several weeks, and I had somebody reach out to me and say, "Hey, can you just talk about like what you learned at those?" And I thought it was a great idea. So that's the plan for tonight. I'm going to share why I am interested in the topics that were discussed, which is going to be, we're going to talk about a phrase called Dui Yao, which is a TCM phrase. It just means pairing of herbs. And then I'm also going to be talking about chronic disease and a way to look at that. So I have been spending a lot of years in clinical research. So I'm very accustomed to looking at things from what you could consider the biomedical perspective, right? That's like your Western medicine. I like to do that, and I like to couple that with looking at things from an herbal lens. So we're going to do that this evening. So just a reminder for anybody who might be watching the replay or not in the chat, if you haven't been here before, my name is Tammy, and I'm Mountain Grandma. Nice to meet you guys. My background's largely in clinical research. I've been studying herbalism for over 20 years, currently going through a formal education program in regards to herbalism. It's East-West School of Herbal Medicine, and at herbwhisperer.com if you want to go check out more information. I looked around. I really thought they were the best of the best and got into the granular details that I wanted in my education. So as I'm going through this, my end goal is to apply for the registered herbalist designation through American Herbalist Guild. And if you're not already a member of the American Herbalist Guild, I'll give them a shout out right now, and you guys should go check them out and become a member. There's student memberships available, and they also have conference opportunities. One of the ones I'm going to talk about is from that. So also just kind of recovering what the goal is for this live. This is an herbal study hall. I am studying a lot, like all the time. And I'm bringing you all along with me because I believe that a lot of people together are super smart. Maybe just one by themselves, not so much. But I believe in community and herbal community, and we're establishing that here. I would like to put this out there that one of the things I'm thinking about doing is putting out a monthly email with some extra tips and information, maybe some information that I found that I can't just, post on YouTube. If you'd like to be a part of that email list, make sure that you email me at MTN. Here, I'll put it in the chat. MTN Grandma 2021 yahoo.com. All right, there's my email. Also, before we dig into too much, I am behind on doing a giveaway for my members of the channel. So we'll be doing that in just a minute. And during these herbal study halls, we cover herbs. We talk about herbal remedies. We talk about herbal energetics. We talk about formulating herbs in a formula. We just really try to talk about all of that. I try to leave every week with giving you all some ideas for how you can incorporate the use of herbs in your life. And before we go on, let me go ahead and get to our disclaimer here. So this is for educational purposes only. I'm not a medical professional. I'm actually a biomedical engineer. Nothing shared here is meant to diagnose, treat, or replace medical advice from a qualified healthcare provider. Herbalism can be supportive, but everyone's body and health history are different. So please talk to your doctor or another licensed professional before trying any new herbs, particularly if you're pregnant, nursing, taking medications, or managing a medical condition. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's see here. So is anybody drinking any tea tonight? Because that's an important thing. I'm actually drinking lemon water. It's a lemon water day. I feel like I just need ultimate hydration. How about all of you? What you got in your cup? Another thing I just want to point out, there's lots of ways to participate. I always love people that come back and rewatch these lives and watch them after the fact to get information. And you can also participate by being in the chat. You can become a member of the channel. Yeah, all kinds of great ways to participate. You can give me a thumbs up, ring the bell so that you know the next time that I'm live, you'll be notified. All right, so good old water. That's right. So the conferences that I'm going to chat about today, one of those was with David Winston, and you can look up his name. And I have upcoming videos. I have a beginning herbalist and preppers books video coming out this week. It'll be coming out Thursday morning. I've already got it posted for a Thursday launch, Thursday morning. I went through, it's just a big stack of books, suggesting lots of books that would be great for beginners and some of the ones that I looked at when I first, got into herbalism. And one of those books was written by David Winston. So anyways, he chatted about Dui Yao, or synergy of herbs, and we're going to chat more about that today. And then the other podcast that I attended that I wanted to bring back to you guys was by Dr. Richard Horowitz. And he has a book that's going to be coming out soon called Ending Chronic Illness. And I really, really liked what he said too. And I want to chat about some things related to each of these podcasts. And I've got two different sets of notes here that I'm looking at. So basically, let's go ahead and kick this off talking about herbal pairing, because that's what it is. And a lot of your TCM formulas are there's lots of really famous formulas in traditional Chinese medicine, like formulas that were put together, couple thousand years ago, which is pretty fascinating to me. And they all are starting with an herbal pair. And you see this a lot in Western medicine and other types of herbalism as well. And the reason is, when it comes to working with paired herbs, what you find is that 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. One herb plus another herb could very well equal 5, because they are synergistic in their nature with one another. They are also useful in helping balance one. And we've talked about energetics in this live before. Hey, Tamara, good to see you. And when you talk about energetics, maybe there's an herb that's really cold and you need to bring in a warmer herb to help neutralize that energy so that it's better for the patient. They can harmonize one another and just kind of work together in that regard. But I thought about something, and he alluded to this also, that when we're learning herbs, one of the best ways that we can learn herbs is not just by learning an herb all by itself. But every time you learn a new herb, think about what herbs, does it have a Dui Yao? And that's spelled here. I'll put it in the comments for you. There you go. And then I'll share it on the screen so anybody not in the comments can say, there you go. That's how Dui Yao is spelled. So some herbs they have a buddy, like they have a buddy that they're often combined with. So when we're learning herbs, we can learn not just one herb all by itself, but we can also learn maybe other herbs that go well with it. So it's a great tool for us as we're all, studying and educating ourselves on herbalism. So it really does help with avoiding just this herb for that thing, because the truth is, we're using herbs as singles is not always the best route to go. And in many times, you want more than just one herb to treat something. So one of my goals for this Herbal Study Hall is to get us all kind of using an herbalist mindset, get us used to thinking about treating patterns that we see in people and using formulas or herbal combinations in treating folks or ourselves, right? So that's what Dui Yao is all about. It kind of teaches us that healing is relational and herbs work in relationship with each other, just like our body systems work in relationship with each other. So I want to give you some examples of that. And I pulled some examples, some that I have often referred to with some of the herbal remedies that I have. One of those is it's going to be your Solomon seal and your horsetail. So get out your notebooks, get your pens, everybody. Get ready to write some stuff down. You might want to take notes on this. I'm going to share some of the stuff that David Winston shared. And then I also tried to look some up, maybe some that I didn't know about. So I'm going to share those too. So let me start with the ones that I've kind of referenced. I really like a Solomon seal and horsetail combination when I'm making a pain oil. And so it's a pain oil. It's not an internal thing. But that's Solomon seal root and horsetail for pain. Some other ones that were shared for relieving pain and inflammation that David Winston had shared was in Ayurveda, boswellia and Google. Boswellia, by the way, frankincense, and Google, spelled Guggul. Those move the blood, relieve pain and inflammation. That was new to me. And he put frankincense and myrrh. So I like a frankincense and myrrh combination, but I put that in my face oil. So just saying. Matter of fact, I just had to make a new batch of it, and that's what I have in there. Frankincense, myrrh. I have an horsetail infused avocado oil. And I also put in a little bit of castor oil, a little bit of argan oil, and then essential oils, frankincense, myrrh. I did lavender, rosemary, ylang ylang, and rose. So that was, but it kind of, if you think about your herbal pears, I have that herbal pear in there. Another one, it's not just 2, but it's 3, is your triphala. And that's spelled, here, I'll put it in the chat. This is an Ayurvedic famous. You can buy triphala. Like, you can buy the triphala powder. You can buy it as capsules. It's 3 different herbs, amla, bibitaki, and what's the other guy? There's a third one. Maybe if it's in my notes here. Anybody here know? Is it amalaki? Yeah, there's 3 of them. They're basically like 3 fruits. But that's a great combination for digestive health. And it's a trio. Oh, Anne mentioned a good one. Turmeric and black seed cumin, great pair. Yes, they are. That's a good one. Here's another one for harmonizing digestion. Licorice and ginger is another one. Has anybody tried any combinations that we've mentioned so far? If so, put it in the chat. I would love to hear it. I also am curious, has anybody here used ashwagandha or tulsi? Tulsi is holy basil. Put a 1 in the chat if you have. Ashwagandha is one of the regular herbs that I take. I absolutely love it. It is great for so many things. And it's almost like it has just such a great safety profile. Hang on, I'm going to join on my phone too, just in case I freeze up or something. That way I can see all you guys, see what's being said. Well, if you've ever tried ashwagandha or tulsi, also known as holy basil, they are a great Ayurvedic pair together. But I want to warn everybody about holy basil for a minute. And it's something that doesn't often come up because holy basil is a really fairly safe herb. It's got a great safety profile, right? Well, I started drinking a lot more holy basil than usual. And I was hungry. Okay. Like I was hungry. And it started to, I'm somebody who's allergic to the, some of the artificial sweeteners out there. And I say allergic because they make me hungry. They make me markedly, like I can tell it's weird. My appetite goes up. And I noticed that happening, and I had not had any of the artificial sweetener. It was the Tulsi or holy basil. So I'm mentioning that. So if you need to increase your appetite, go for it. And maybe it doesn't have that impact on you, but I'm mentioning it because not many of us really want to gain weight or increase our appetite. So be cautious of drinking holy basil, just monitor it. If it doesn't affect you that way, awesome. But if you start to notice that you're hungry more than you really want to be, look to the holy basil. That could be the guilty party. Hey, Heather, thank you for coming. Also, for immune support, there is echinacea and golden seal. That's another great combo. I would just say with the golden seal, be very, very careful when taking golden seal. When they say take it by drops, take it by drops. I heard a story of somebody, and she's on YouTube. What was her name? Trying to think of her name. I want to say it was Cindy, and her channel is something like that. She knew someone. They lived across the street or next to her mom or somebody like that. It was very, very close to her. And they were told, that they should take golden seal. So they thought more is better. When it comes to herbs, everybody, especially if you're taking a tincture, more is not better. Okay. She ended up in the hospital from the golden seal. So beware of that. But it is a famous immune support combination there. All right. Also, does anybody here take any hawthorn or motherwort? And have you heard of that? Maybe drop a 1 in the chat if you've heard of hawthorn or motherwort, or drop a 2 in the chat if you've actually taken hawthorn or motherwort. So drop a 1 if you've heard of hawthorn or motherwort, and drop a 2 if you've taken it before. Those are another couple of my favorite herbs. They're great for the circulation system. They're great for heart health. Just wonderful overall. They both are herbs that you tend to want to take. You're really going to notice after you've taken them for a while. Oh, awesome, Anne. Awesome, Penny. Yeah, they're long-term herbs. As a matter of fact, in Germany, the Commission E there is what they call them. They actually diagnose, or they prescribe hawthorn as a first level treatment for blood pressure before they go to medication. Speaking of which, I heard that the grading score system has come out recently for all of the countries in regards to their outcomes for healthcare, and the US did not do well. Even though we spend the most on healthcare in our country, we did not do well. So hawthorn and motherwort, those two are a great pair. If you're going to take one of them, you should look into and consider if the other one would be appropriate to take as a combination. They are in a heart ease tea blend that I have made. And I really like those two herbs. Heather said, wow, surprising, isn't it though? Hey, Lori's World. I'm so glad you made it. Thank you so much. Also, you all have heard of turmeric, right? Anybody taken turmeric? Drop in the chat. 1, you've heard of it. 2, you've taken it before. Turmeric. I think everybody knows you need to take that with black pepper. And like Ann Philbeck mentioned earlier, the black cumin seed works great with that. Hey, Neer, thanks for coming. Yeah, turmeric it's really hit mainstream. It is a great herb, great safety profile. I would say the one thing that I've heard about that is it can cause cause some digestive upset for some folks. So if you're taking it, just keep that in mind. Maybe take it with food. Just see how it does for you. Great for your circulatory and cardiovascular support. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. And thank you for the reminder for everybody to give me the thumbs up. I appreciate that. There's a couple of Chinese herbs for anybody who's studying TCM that are also great for your circulatory and cardiovascular support, and that would be Dong Gui and Bai Xiao. And I will put them, could be Bai Xiao. I could be saying it wrong, guys. Forgive me if I am. Dong Gui plus Bai Xiao. There we go. I'm dropping it in the chat, and I'll share it on the screen real quick for any of my TCM friends. Great for circulatory and cardiovascular support. And digestive harmony and anti-inflammatory. So kind of those two things combined. One, I add too many things I make. Awesome, Tamara. I live quite the herby life too. I wake up to a nice, cup of alternative coffee, which includes like dandelion root, chicory root. I put red rooibos in there, along with some reishi powder and some chaga powder. It just makes an amazing coffee. Tastes like coffee, right? And then to that, I add some ashwagandha powder and some cinnamon, because I think ashwagandha, if you're going to drink it in a drink, you just got to have the cinnamon. I add cinnamon in there to it. Yeah, with a little bit of a sweetener and some milk. Yum. That's my morning. That's how I start out in the morning. All right, so digestive harmony and anti-inflammatory. Oh, and the turmeric. I was putting that in there, but I was afraid it was going to make my teeth yellow. So I'm taking it in little capsules, and I'm about out of them, so I need to make more. And I think I'm going to do a video on the different ways you can make herbal pills, because there's several different methods of doing that I use. So I'm thinking about doing that. Do you think that would be of interest to anybody? Oh my gosh, can dogs have turmeric? I just bought an herbal dog book. I'm trying to think of herbs for dogs book. I bought 2 of them. I'll have to share it. I'll share it in a post so you can check it out. You found elderberry trees in your backyard. Awesome. My dream, an established black cherry tree fully loaded with cherries growing. Oh, what a blessing. Congratulations. Okay, so digestive harmony. Going to try to keep myself back on track here. Chamomile and peppermint. Great combo for digestive harmony and anti-inflammatory. Chamomile is one of my favorite herbs. Things that we'll use it for is gallbladder attacks. We have used it for that. Again, not prescribing, diagnosing, do your own research, all that good stuff. But also chamomile is another go-to if you have any problems with like loose stools, diarrhea kind of thing. Chamomile actually treats that. Try it. It's got to be a strong cup of chamomile, but it's an astringent, and it does help with that. Oh, and here it is. Triphala is also digestive harmony and anti-inflammatory. I use it in my soaps. Is that the chamomile? You use that in your soaps? It's also a great skin lightener if you're not allergic to it. Every time I say that, Heather, I know I'm supposed to be working on that for you. I have the capsule thingy, Heather. I do have the capsule thingy, but I can show you how to do it without the capsule thingy too, because I've done that before. All right, so the Triphala, here it is. It's the Haritaki, Bibitaki, and Amalaki. So that's the trio in Triphala. It's in a powder. It's very tart. And the way that I take it, because that's something that I take also, is in a little bit of water as a powder. Take about a teaspoon, and you kind of drink that before you go to bed at night. And it's great for your digestive health. Also very anti-inflammatory. And then another TCM one would be Wong Chin and Wong Long. And I'll put that in the chat in case anybody wants to look those up. Chin plus, oops. And some of these, I'm learning the TCM. So these are be things that I'm making note of, and then I go back and I study them. That's how I do that. My cats eat almost everything. They were raised by my dog. That's hilarious. And they think they're also part human. Eating lettuce from the planter. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Oops, I spelled the Wong Leon. Let me try again. Hold on. Wong Chin plus Wong Leon. There it is. As long as it doesn't autocorrect. Okay. There's a TCM combo for digestive harmony and anti-inflammatory. Oh my gosh, Anne. Oh, you are such a sweetheart. Look what she did. Thank you so much, Anne. I appreciate you so much. Bless your heart. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Moving on to detoxification and digestive tonics. Dandelion and milk thistle. So dandelion and milk thistle is one. You should know Chinese spelling by now. I do. That was a typo. But, I don't speak Chinese, so there's that. I only know the herbs that I see. So dandelion and milk thistle for detoxification and digestive tonics. Chinese is hard, isn't it? And the writing too. In the school that I'm attending, Jennifer, they do share like some Chinese words, and in the text that we use, it even explains some of the symbols to you when you're going through it. It's kind of cool. All right, so dandelion and milk thistle, we're talking detoxification and digestive tonics. Also, there is shatavari and licorice. Okay, I got to call out shatavari again, guys. I'm going to call out licorice too. Be careful for any licorice combos if you have high blood pressure. Licorice can raise your blood pressure, so just be aware of that. I tend to omit it completely and replace it with something else. Or if I use it, it might just be for something that I'm taking like in an acute scenario, and it's in a very small amount. So keep that in mind. And then shatavari. So I was taking ashwagandha. This is years ago. I was taking ashwagandha. Shatavari is a great herb. It's supposed to be really good for women, like just a great herb. Well, I was taking shatavari and ashwagandha at the same time. If you take shatavari and ashwagandha at the same time, I hate to say it again, guys, you're going to get hungry. So apparently this is like a common, this is one of my sensitivity areas. I was really, even at dinner time, like I would be hungry, and I don't usually have like, really large servings of anything. And my kids, and they were younger at the time, I think they were all in high school at the time. They're like, gosh, mom, I'm like, I know I'm hungry. And then I went and I did what I'm like, what am I doing differently? If ever you notice anything about you that is different, whether it's you're more sleepy, or maybe you're more cranky, or you're more hungry, or whatever, you need to ask yourself, what's different? What am I doing differently? And I did that, and I was like, I started taking that shatavari, and I looked it up, and shatavari and ashwagandha is a great combo if you're trying to increase someone's appetite. Some people have the opposite problem of me. Like, I don't need any help gaining weight. I'm, trying to lose weight. Some people do need help gaining weight, and that is a great herbal combo. So I'm just saying that's one of the impacts of it. But we're not talking about that combo, though. We're talking about shatavari and licorice, which is a detoxification and digestive tonic. So keep that in mind. What if you add in an appetite suppressant? Would that work? It would, and I know that there is one in Ayurveda. There is an appetite suppressant herb, but I can't tell you what that is right now. I was going to say, don't ask me what it is right now because I don't know the answer. I'll have to check my notes. But I was on I was on an Ayurvedic with Karta Khalsa, who is an instructor for Ayurvedic herbalism in Oregon, Heather. I've actually been on like a live talking with him before. He really knows his stuff. And he had mentioned it. Gosh, was it Gaducci? I don't know that that was it. I'll have to look into it and circle back. Um, nutrients you need from eating. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm reading what Jennifer Ocean Homestead said. She's suggesting lemon balm. I haven't heard that. I'd have to go look into that more. All right. Detoxificate, but thank you for sharing though, Jennifer. Don't quit sharing. It's always interesting what you share. Yep, he's at the Portland Community College. Detoxification and digestive tonics for TCM, Fu Ling and Beiju. Fu Ling plus Beiju. There we go. And then I'll share it. TCM, folks. Detoxification and digestive tonics combo for TCM right here. All right, next up, nervous system, calming and digestive support. We've got Brahmi and Gotu Kola. That's our Ayurvedic. And here, I'm going to spell that one just because they might not be that common for everybody. Little note on Gotu Kola, like, I don't know, have you all heard of Gotu Kola? Maybe drop a 1 in the chat if you have. It's had a lot of study on it done about treating dementia and Alzheimer's. And everybody hears about ginkgo biloba. I don't feel like Gotu Kola is as mainstream as ginkgo biloba. You heard lemon balm too, Robin? Huh. Interesting. Okay. All right. So folks have heard of Gotu Kola. I like Gotu Kola. I mean, they even the leaves, they'll use it and cook it as food. I love food as medicine. I love that. But also, did you know you can infuse it in oil and it's supposed to be great for your skin? I have not tried it yet, but I will, and I'll let you know how it works for me. And that is we're talking about nervous system calming and digestive support. Heads up when the test will be. Okay. I will. I'll be doing an Herbal Study Hall Name That Herb game, which is like our little testing thing. I'm shooting for the end of the month, like the last Tuesday of the month. I'm going to have that be Name That Herb. And then I'll start doing it like at the end of every month, trying to keep everything that we talked about within that month on that Name That Herb game. Because I thought that was a lot of fun. Never found my ginseng I planted, but I just got 4-year-old ginseng roots. Oh, congratulations, Anne. That's awesome. All right. So nervous system calming and digestive support. We shared the Brahmi and Gotu Kola. Another one combo is lemon balm and valerian. I've heard a lot of combos. Like they're saying lemon balm and valerian, but I've also heard of hops and valerian. It depends on how much of a calming you want, right? Passion flower, bring passion flower in, and that's like, tap out time. You're going to sleep. You can be that calm. And then also Chen Pai and Bang Jia. Let me spell that. Wait, hold on. Pai plus Bang Jia. Totally could be pronouncing it wrong. TCM friends, there you go. Chen Pai and Bang Jia for the TCM. Nervous system calming and digestive support. And then, okay, last group, and then there's a couple other little ones I'll share. Cognitive support and adaptogenic balance. And it's funny because, Gotu Kola is not in here, but what was the other herb we were just talking about? Is there an herb that you expect to see in one of these combinations for cognitive support and adaptogenic balance? Put it in the chat. Elecampane, I'll share this. Elecampane, you know, I went out when I had a really bad cough and I was sick. I have that growing in my garden. And it was only a first year herb at that time. Hey, Tony, thank you so much for coming. It was only a first year herb. Elecampane roots are actually better in the second year. And I didn't know this thing's going to get like, 4 feet tall. I mean, we'll see how big it gets. So I totally planted it in the wrong place. But I went out there. It was dark outside. I took a flashlight. I went out there digging up roots because I knew I needed it. I think of it as a cough respiratory support herb. I would imagine it's calming, but it's just what's sticking in my brain. Herbs, they always have so many good things about them, and you almost just got to go check because you can't remember all of them. But that's my experience with Elecampane, is that it's mostly respiratory, probably is a little calming, if anything, because it helps to relieve the respiratory symptoms. Tamara, I know. Write them down. Just write them down. One of these days, when I feel like I'm better at it, I will do some TCM herbal study halls. But I don't know how much interest is out there. And I'm still a student. I'm still like learning. So, and still getting experience with the herbs. I did share one TCM herb haul, and I made jade windscreen, which is a Chinese herbal medicine remedy. So I might just do that like in video form for now till I get better. So Tamara's suggesting peppermint. I'm seeing ginkgo. Did anybody else think rosemary? So here's what we got. We have amalaki and ashwagandha for Ayurveda. And remember, amalaki is one of those triphala herbs. Remember, it's haritaki, bibitaki, and amalaki in the triphala. That's for digestive harmony and anti-inflammatory. And I'm pointing that out because we're looking at cognitive support and adaptogenic balance. Well, cognitive support, you got to kill that inflammation. So amalaki is very strongly anti-inflammatory. And then your ashwagandha, which is, that is a adaptogen. It's such a great herb. I just love it. And then we also have ginkgo biloba. So whoever said the ginkgo, that one came to play. Ginkgo biloba and rhodiola as a combination. And let me put the Chinese one in here. It's by Guo and Wu Weiji. Hold on. Guo, Wu Weiji. Oh, here, let me share it for anybody who's on TV or something. Here you go, your TCM herbs by Guo and Wu Weiji. That is for cognitive support and adaptogenic balance. Now, keep in mind, though, the TCM herbs, when they have herbal pairings, here, let me move this so you can see me doing my sign language over here. When they have herbal pairings, what they're really doing is you'll find herbal pairs within a TCM formula. That's how they do those. So let's see. Any other notes here? Some of the other ones that were mentioned by David Winston. He mentioned Corydalis, and I'm going to spell that for you guys. Corydalis and Zeotery. I guessed at the spelling. I have no idea if I got it right. So I'm not going to give you the Zeotery because I don't, you guess. That's what it sounded like. But here's the Corydalis. Moves blood, and it's also anti-tumor. And then he also shared Don Shen and safflower. That one I can put in. Don Shen and safflower. Here, and I'll show it. Don Shen and safflower. Moves blood, and it's a cardiac tonic. These are blends that David Winston likes. And then he also mentioned Dongui and Ligusticum. Let me spell that for you guys. Dongui. I think Dongui is Angelica sinensis, but don't trust me. Go look it up. Anybody want to go on Google for us real quick? Dongui and Ligusticum. Share that. I'll look it up real quick. Hold on. That's the thing. You have the Chinese names, but there is an English word for them. You just gotta remember them all. Dongui herb. It's astragalus root. Oh, and I spelled it wrong. It's this. Hold on. Oh no, I had it right. It's angelica root. Sorry, guys. A couple different things popped up. Look at me. I remembered. Dongui and ligusticum. Well, what's ligusticum? Hold on. Let me share. There we go. Dongui and ligusticum. Remember, dongui is angelica root. By the way, there's two different kinds of angelica. There's Angelica sinensis and there's Angelica archangelica. The English version is mostly Angelica archangelica. I'm betting the Angelica sinensis is the dongui. Let me see what it says for ligusticum. I'm just going to check and see if it has another name. No way. Is it? Wait, where is it? Oh, oops. I'm looking on YouTube. Hold on. Ligusticum. Anybody have any questions so far? Is it this? Huh. Okay. It's osha root. So, hold on. Let me confirm. Dongui. American name. Or I guess I could put English, right? Hold on. Dongui. Radix angelica. Well, let me put Latin name. That's what I need. Not the American name. Jeesh. Tamara, no worries. Okay, it was Angelica sinensis. Okay, I'm going to put this in English now. So it's the combo is Angelica sinensis and osha root. So dongui and ligusticum is this. All right. See how slow things would go if I was teaching you guys like TCM stuff like all the time? I need more time studying that stuff. All right. He also mentioned kudzu and mulberry bark. That's right. The weed that ate the South, kudzu and mulberry bark combined significantly reduced blood sugar. And he mentioned Gastrodia tianma and ligusticum root, which we know is osha now. 4 parts of the Gastrodia, which is also called tianma, and 1 part ligusticum root. He uses that to treat migraine headaches. I do not have any experience with those herbs at all, so I can't say yay or nay to them. All right, I am going to move on now because I want to talk about the M6 model of treating chronic illness, according to Dr. Richard Horowitz. And this is, remember, it's coming from an MD. So it's very much coming from just your Western medicine, but I think the information is valuable. I've thought about doing an entire herbal study hall on how to study herbs because I'm telling you, you really need to have your clinical knowledge under your belt. That's my humble, opinion. You need to be able to understand what's going on the clinical side. You need to be able to have some kind of dietary nutrition education. That's why I like to promote all kinds of books. This is a new one, Using Foods to Heal. I'm very much into Foods that Heal because you need to help people figure out, what they should and shouldn't eat, or at least promote things that they should eat. Like one book that we talked about, and I didn't do a book review of this, Cholesterol Down. Maybe I'll do it as a video. I don't know. Or I'll do it on a live, but maybe I'll do a whole video on food as medicine. What do you guys think? Can I get some opinions on this? Do you think a food as medicine herbal study hall would be fun? And Philbeck, it does. It grows. Kudzu grows everywhere, and I've heard that it's also effective in treating alcohol withdrawal symptoms. Okay, now let's talk about the M6 model for treating chronic disease. All right, hold on one second. Ah, whoops. Okay. All right. According to Dr. Richard Horowitz, and mark your calendars, October of 2026, there is a book coming out by him called Ending Chronic Illness. And then it's got some little words under that. Let me see if I typed out what those were. I don't think that I did. And he also has a website, though, if you want to go check it out, endingchronicillness.com. Fascinating, fascinating webinar to listen to. Here's his 6 points that he said you have to treat in order to treat chronic illness. And he proposed it in this order. The first is infections. If you're treating somebody for chronic illness, whether it's yourself or someone else, you need to look for bacterial infections, and also it could be infections like Bartonellas is a bacterial infection. That one makes people not be able to walk. He actually mentioned that he had a patient who had this underlying bacterial infection called Bartonellas, and she was in a wheelchair because she couldn't walk. And within 5 months, she was out of that wheelchair. Nobody had diagnosed this. It went undetected, this bacterial infection. Also Lyme disease, treating parasitic infections. And there's one sneaky one called babesiosis. And remember, this was a webinar, like there was nobody spelling these words. So babesiosis, good luck to you. I mean, Google it, babesiosis, give it your best shot. You'll get some more information if you want to dig into that. That's a parasitic infection that was also making people very sick. Then you've got your viral infections, right? That could be like herpes, zoster, it could be any viral infections. It could be a fungal infection. It could be candida, for example. So treating infections, remember, this is your 6-point model for treating chronic disease. You've got to treat the infections. Put it at the top of your list. You've got to treat environmental toxins. These environmental toxins could be mold. They could be heavy metals. So look for those things. Environmental toxins could also be allergies. And he even suggested that people might want to get food allergies testing done just to kind of check and see. And if you think about this, it makes sense. You want to treat infections. You want to treat environmental toxins because these are the things that keep making the body sicker, right? So those are in this 6-point model. Those are 2 of the points. The third point, microbiome issues in the gut. Microbiome issues in the gut, if you're writing these down. So think about correcting your microbiome, putting in the good bacteria into your gut. And then there was some discussion, I don't know if it was on this one or maybe the other one that I listened to, but they were talking about the damage the antibiotics take on our bodies and how many months to even years it could impact somebody's gut health. So really making sure that you get good, healthy bacteria in your gut. And he was saying he eats sauerkraut every day. So keep that in mind. That's number 3. So we've got infections, environmental toxins, microbiome issues. If you just joined, you can rewind and watch some of the other details on the 3 we just mentioned. Number 4 is leaky gut mast cell. Watching out for leaky gut mast cell, basically healing your gut. Because if you don't heal your gut, you really can't go to the fifth point in this 6-point model to treat chronic disease. And number 5 is vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Vitamin and mineral deficiencies. So it makes sense, doesn't it? Like, we're trying to make sure we turn off the faucet of all of the bad stuff. Chronic infections, that could be tooth infections, guys. Environmental toxins, it could be mold. You need to get rid of what's causing it. Microbiome issues, trying to make sure you have healthy gut bacteria, healing leaky gut, vitamin and mineral deficiencies, because until you heal your gut, your body's not going to absorb the vitamins and minerals well that you're eating. So that's number 5. Number 6, anybody want to guess what number 6 is? Anybody want to take a wild guess? I'll wait. Take a guess, somebody. Number 6. Depending on if you look at the diagnosis or the issue, the diagnosis, it would start with an I. All right, no one's wanting to guess, so I'll tell you. Parasites fell in, I should have mentioned those. They fell in with environmental toxins, I think. I think parasites are huge, though. Insomnia is number 6. Due to menopause, maybe getting up to pee during the night, having anxiety that wakes you in the middle of the night, or maybe you get up to pee and then you lay there thinking about your to-do list for the next day, or what you should or should not have done the day that you just closed out. Any of those things. Yep, detoxing, that's environmental toxin, could be from our food. Good point, Jennifer. So all of those are combined or issues. Hey, Blackwing Paranormal, thanks for coming. Oh, lavender, I love lavender. Let me catch up real quick here in the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. I never went. Ginger every day for me and no bad numbers. Ginger in a foot soak is really good for increasing circulation in your body. Social media, TV stress. Oh my gosh, isn't that just, yeah. So all of these things are issues, right? And they have downstream results. And that can include, and then remember, we're going to go Western, like we're going to go biomedical on you guys. Mitochondria will lack protection from free radicals. So then you have mitochondrial dysfunction. You will have hormonal dysregulation, such as like low adrenals, testosterone being out of whack, menopause, hormonal dysregulation, also immune deficiency, autoimmune reactions. So there's all of these things. So that was his 6-point model. And he's, of course, going to have more details in the book when it comes out in October, Ending Chronic Illness. You can check out more at endingchronicillness.com. Dr. Richard Horowitz is the one that talked about all of this, and I thought it was fascinating. For parasites, my go-to is oregano oil, and I actually, I've had experience with that. It definitely works for liver flukes. Heather, I have your text. I will. I'll send you a picture of a liver fluke firsthand. I don't know if anybody else wants to see it, but yeah, a liver fluke. Anyways, that was my firsthand experience with oregano oil and parasites. Thank you all for watching and joining in tonight. We will be back next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Anybody have any requests for topics that you want me to chat about? Do you want me to do a book review of this cholesterol down? Maybe we could just talk about a bunch of cholesterol herbs. I don't know. It's, my husband and I used to own a pest control company. So I know there's a lot going on in the tick world. And I was thinking I could maybe do a chat on tick control, and I don't know. I don't know if that would be of interest or not. I might just make it a video. But any topics? Blackwing Paranormal, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. My things that I say for anybody who has chronic illness is address your stress, address your sleep, address your food. Get your body to a good place so that it can take care of itself. We were designed to do that. We were designed to be able to heal. Cholesterol and needed protects your arteries. Yeah. Okay. I'll do this book review next week. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. And Ann Philbeck, thank you again, sweet friend. Thank you so much. All right, guys, have a good night and have a good week. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Oh, wait, don't go. I got to do the drawing for my members. Oh, my goodness. I almost forgot about this. Hang on a second. I'm going to turn off my camera and share the other screen so that we can do that drawing real quick. And I've got you on that wheel too. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Goodness. Share screen. Window. Okay. Hold on. Share. All right. Can you see the wheel? Okay, there's the wheel. All right. So this is my members wheel, and thank you to all of my members. I'm going to go ahead and click so we can get to spinning and see who wins the member giveaway. Good luck, everybody. Hey, it's Lori. Over at Because It All Adds Up. Yo, Lori, you won. So make sure that you email me. All right, let me quit sharing now. Okay, turn my camera back on. All right, we still have 19 people here. Let me see if I can do a StreamYard giveaway real quick too. Hold on. I got to shut off my camera again because until I get another extra laptop to go with this one, I just freeze up with a goofy look on my face when I go to another thing. So hang on. I'd rather not be freezing up with a goofy look on my face. Okay, hold on. Let me get the StreamYard wheel. It is. Choose a live stream. All right. Now I'm going to share my screen real quick. There we go. I think it's working. Okay, can you all see it? Okay, how about we do hashtag HSH for Herbal Study Hall. There we go. Hashtag HSH. Everybody enter in hashtag HSH. And I don't know what the prize is yet, guys. It could be seeds. It could be a gift card. It could be any number of things that I make. Hashtag HSH. All right, we got 6 entries. I'll give it a couple more minutes in case anyone's video's running behind. Hey, Jennifer, did you get your seeds yet? It's a mystery win, yes. Hashtag HSH. Penny, in my book review video that's coming out on Thursday, I shared the book that you sent me. Thank you again for that book. I really like it. All right. We've got 8 entries. I know I have quite a few people that watch this on their TV, so maybe that's why. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, we got more coming. Hey, Crystal Hope. Thank you for coming. Oh, it's 4 weeks. My word. We'll give it another minute in case there's some lagging and some folks' internet service. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. I meant to do this at the beginning of the live, so my apologies. But I appreciate you watching tonight and learning herbs with us. Is there anybody, does anybody have any requests about any herbal monographs that you want me to go over? Any like favorite herbs that you'd really like to know more about? If so, drop it in the chat. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit draw. Good luck, everyone. All right, and the winner is Penny Ortiz. Congratulations, Penny. Woohoo. All right. Turn my camera back on. All right, so Penny Ortiz, you won the prize tonight. Thank you so much for coming, you guys. And then Lori, because it all adds up, you need to email me. Penny, you need to send me your address. It all adds up. Okay. And thank you all again. I'll see you next Tuesday. And thanks for the for sharing some herbs that you'd like to hear more about. See you next time. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.